Yeah, that's good.
Yo.
I like this better because you get the whole fucking room, bro. You put it as your background. Boy, you a lifer over there, bro. You a lifer. He's a lifer. I love it. All right, folks. We back in the lab, back in the studio. I'm Rob. He's Rick. What's happening?
What's good, Brody?
Ain't too much. This Captain's Law podcast and YouTube show. Hope everybody's doing well, man. We are joined with special guest Duran Jones, producer, writer, filmmaker. What's up, my good man?
What's up with y'all, fellas? What's going on?
What's good, Brody?
Good. You know,
Man,
living
look.
life, loving it, and just, you know, trying my best to represent us in the best way I can, man. That's it.
Ooh, listen, you can't get deep on us. Look. We're only about 42 seconds in. You can't get deep on us like that,
I know how
bro.
the show go. I'm trying to catch up. Let me catch up, and I'm gonna be there.
Man, look, I'm drinking motherfucking sparkling soda right now, bro. That's all I got for you.
He's on liquid punishment right now.
What day you on now?
I'm gonna give the world an update. This is day 15. No alcohol.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you right now, body feeling different. You know what I'm saying? My mental feeling different. I actually feel good. You know what I'm saying? And I honestly didn't consider myself like a heavy drinker. I just consider myself a frequent drinker. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I gotta cut the grass down. Let me just pull me a little drink. Shit. Gotta go to the grocery store. Let me just pull me this little drink real quick. So, man, you know, face looking a little skinny. I ain't really lost no weight. I had no red meat. I had some seafood though. I'm a little guilty of that. I mean, one step at a time. But I feel good though, man. So we'll reevaluate in 2 weeks, man, and then we'll see what's going on from there. But enough about me. You know what I'm saying? I want to get right into it. My man did his homework. So I already know it's going to be a good interview, man. So let's get right into it.
Most definitely.
So what compelled you to become a filmmaker, man? And how'd you get started?
Shit, man, chance. Honestly, you know, Rick, no, I was rapping for the longest time. Like, you know, I was rapping since we was in high school, in go-go bands, all types of stuff, making my own music. And 2018, when I was doing one of my own music videos, I had crafted this story that all the music videos was going to lead into each other, right? It was going to be seamless, and I was going to drop them one at a time. And then I talked to a friend of mine who was a director, and we were talking about the budget of it and all the rest of that. And he basically was like, look, man, I mean, you could make it a music video, or it could just be one short film, and that'll cost you a lot less. So I was like, all right, cool. So we shot it as a short film. It was an urban musical based on the killing of Tamir Rice. You know, it was called Black Magic. It was a 5-song EP that I did. We put that joint out, went to film festivals. I didn't even know what a film festival was at the time. And he looked at me at the end of that run. We went to Maryland International Film Festival, Urban Festival in Miami. We did a film festival in Harlem. We did a whole bunch of different festivals. And he looked at me and he was like, man, you a hell of a producer. And I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? And he was like, that's what producers do. Like, you put this whole thing together, you submitted it, you got us into these festivals, you wrote it, you starred in it, you did the music, like start to finish. That's what a producer is. And it just got my wheels turning. Like at the time I was in Atlanta also teaching acting, because I got an opportunity to be in theaters in a play with a friend of mine, Mia Kristen Smith. She's a director in theater. And she liked what I was doing in my music video. So she was like, I want you to audition. And that led to me going to acting class. And it was really just me saying yes to a whole bunch of opportunities. And then you look up and you got this skill set that you didn't even know you had, you know? So at the end of that, I was like, all right, well, let's see if I can play in the big leagues. Let's go to Hollywood and see if these skills translate. And yeah, I've been here since 2019.
But the thing about it is, right, so he said that, you know, go-go band. So me and Duran was in a go-go band with a bunch of our friends, right?
What's the name of the band, though?
What was the name of the band, bro?
Which one?
All right, so what was the name of the first one? With me, you, Brandon, Adam, Cream Puff.
UKB.
What was the name of that? Huh?
UKB.
Yeah, the Unknown Band. UKB.
Band.
Yep, it was UKB. We was playing at bowling alleys and all that. We had the manager and everything. But Duran always put everything together. So like I wasn't surprised when he went down this path because Duran is nice on the keyboard and the piano. The nigga's nice. No get to so
I ain't
he
that
was
nice
all,
no more.
well, hey, I guarantee you get
I
back
was,
into
at
it.
one
You back on
point in
that joint.
time.
Dun, 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 like the whole
Don't
jump.
take you long.
Hey, look. So like he was always putting like the songs and shit together. So like when we had band practice and stuff like that, like he was running the jump for real whole time. So I wasn't surprised when he went down this path, and I was like really, really happy and excited for him when he did go down this path because you know he done graduated, you know, did his whole thing, and he was like, man, fuck, I'm just doing my passion. So when he first translated to music, I'm like, yeah, that's him off rip. I was like, I'm already hip.
So you went to college for something else?
Yeah, actually, my undergrad degree is in journalism. So when I graduated from Hampton University in 2007, and when I graduated, I went straight to work at CNN in September. But the only reason why I even applied to CNN is because Atlanta was the home of music in 2007. Like I wanted to go out there and be like, all right, cool. I can go to these open mics. I can do all these things. And, you know, I got something to actually feed me, you know what I'm saying, and keep a roof over my head too. So I'm going to use this degree. And I would do that. I would work a 5 to 2 p.m. shift. I would floor direct for Robin Meade in the morning. And then I'd do 2 to 10, either with Nancy Grace, or I would be a production assistant with Larry King Live from Atlanta. And then at 10 o'clock, I would leave that job, go to open mics. You know what I'm saying? Like literally, I would show up at work with a shirt, a tie, some slacks. I would get in my car, throw on some jeans and some Chucks, and just loosen up my tie and untuck the shirt, and I would hit stage like that. And it just ended up becoming this thing that it was a brand. Like it ended up me starting a tie company and all this stuff. It really was like a lot of learning on the job, bro, and just you know, going after shit. That's it. I mean, that's kind of what we always done since we was kids, though.
That's pretty sweet, though. I actually do have a couple of questions for you about the little production thing, but we'll towards the end though. When we get to the end,
For sure.
Like dead ass though. But so one more. I'm gonna ask you one more. So outside of the journalism, you know what I'm saying? Outside of going to schools for journalism, outside of the filmmaking and all of those aspects, is this something that you always wanted to do, or did you have a different plan and this is just where you pivoted to?
Man, I thought I was supposed to be on stages in Madison Square Garden with Hove. Like that's where I thought I was supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? Like this wasn't a part of the plan, but I always was creative, you know, and I was always making my own music videos and art and editing and shooting stuff with a camera or whatever I could. And like Ricky knows, we made the step team together in high school.
Yeah,
like created
on
that
a step team.
scratch.
You ain't tell me that.
Yeah, man,
bro.
You were stepping out there.
Hey,
yeah,
out
man.
there. Out
we
there.
was nice too.
We was fucking Maryland up, bro.
We was nice.
We was fucking Maryland up, bro. Shout out
to
Uncle Wendell Martin.
For sure.
Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, man. So we just being a self-starter, but this was an opportunity that presented itself to me at a time when I was like, all right, I'm getting a little too old to go down this music path continuously, right? And I didn't know how to transition. I still wanted to be creative, and this one just fell in my lap. You know, so it was one of those moments where you really look back on everything that you've done in your life and the skills that you've accumulated and the experiences, and it's like, oh shit, that's what all of this was leading me to. You know, and I had that aha moment in 2019 when he was like, man, you produced the hell out of this. I was like, oh, I can make some money doing this shit. I ain't made no money yet, but we working on that.
We working on that. The process is the process, man. You can't deviate.
For sure, man.
All right, so I got a question for you. So what do you wish your younger self knew about your current profession, like in filmmaking and stuff?
That the job even existed.
Talk about it.
You know, because where we come from, if you don't see people doing it, it's not a reality to you.
Facts.
You know, so even when he told me it's what I did, for me, it was just out of, you know, being an independent hip hop artist, you got to do your own merchandise, you got to fix your own cover art, you got to record the songs, do the budget, crowdfund, book your own shows. Like that was just what I had always done. I didn't realize that that's what producing was. You know, I had no clue. So, you know, now when I'm producing stuff for other directors, Like the director I'm working with now, Vic Gabriel. I got another director, Razak Boykin, that I'm about to work with in a couple weeks on the film. Stacey Gaspard, who did my first film at AFI. Like all of these people, I'm being the person for them that I needed for myself. You know what I'm saying? So I'm taking all the things that I learned from working and doing it for myself, and I'm like, all right, if I was in a position, what are the things that I would have needed? What's the advice that I wish I would have heard? You know, who are the people that I needed to put around me in order for me to succeed? And like that's the role of a producer. It's like crafting that team and putting everybody in that position to do their best possible work without being stressed out. You know what I'm saying? Like without having to worry about the budget, like all of that shit. Right. So for me, it's just, I just wish I knew that this shit was out there, bro. Like we all seen the credits in movies, but that don't mean we know what them people do.
Yeah, half of the time we don't even read them.
Credits be going fast, don't they?
Exactly.
Hey, look, I was watching I was watching a movie on FX, man. I think Snowfall was about to come on, and the movie went off. Man, that motherfucking credits about 3 seconds. And Snowfall come on. I'm like, damn, you just skipped over them good folks like that.
Yeah, man. Don't nobody care about that shit. Look, I tell my homies this all the time that make films with me. I'm like, look, man, you can't worry about them credits. Cause I ain't gonna lie. Unless it was a Marvel movie when I was just in the audience, I wasn't staying through the credits. And even if I did, I wasn't really reading them. We was just talking, eating the rest of the popcorn, and you know what I'm saying, waiting to get it out.
Bro, that's a thing now, dog.
Yeah,
like, you might look. You mess around, go see Spider-Man or something, and you get your ass up as soon as the movie. But they be like, hey,
sit down.
Shit ain't done.
Exactly.
I'm trying
man.
to tell you, I feel you on that, man. That's good stuff, man.
All right, so another question. So if you can go back and give your 18-year-old self one piece of advice, what would it be?
Nigga, stop trying to please people. Like,
talk about it,
bro. Like,
get deep on me real quick. Get deep.
Talk about
it,
it,
man. Like you know, you're impressionable when you're a kid, and you want to hang out with the right people. You want to be seen with the right people, and do all the right things so you can either get the girl that you want to get, or be looked at the way you want to be looked at. Be invited to this party, that party. Ricky, you already know. Like when we was coming up in high school, I drove everywhere. Because I didn't want to have to depend on nobody.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? When it's time for us to go, or when I felt like it was time for me to go, I'm like, all right, man, I'm out, bro.
Yep.
Like, I don't need to wait on you to do nothing for me. So it's like, I think once I learned that, it really played into my life. And my dad told me that a long time ago. Like, he always just said, keep your head on the swivel. Keep your head on the swivel. You don't know who your real friends are. And, he for sure, he's 60 plus, ain't got no goddamn friends. Like me and my mom's his only friends. But
good answer, Pop.
It's because he's just always been that way, man. He don't want to depend on nobody. He gonna get it himself and make things happen on his own. It's like, if you gonna come on a journey, cool. But if not, stay your ass home. That's it.
Okay, that's good, man. So look, man, tell me about the 3 most influential people in your life and how they've impacted you.
My mom and dad first.
Of course.
Mom's had me at 18 and really, really gave me the opportunity to become what I became. She left all of, whatever ambitions or dreams she had at 18 and just went straight to work. She took the responsibility, on by herself and did everything she needed to do. And then my pops, who's literally he's my stepfather, but he's my father. He's the only father I've ever known.
Exactly.
Since I was 6, 7 years old. So I ended up taking his last name at 30, and just like I said, I learned a lot of lessons from him just by watching him. He wasn't never the one to sit you down and talk. He wasn't gonna have that father-son moment that you saw on all the TV shows. It was just like, watch me and learn what you can and keep pushing forward. Then it would be my wife. Like, since I was doing music and nobody knew who the hell I was, she's always been supportive, even if from a distance. Like, always telling me, oh, your voice is so much different. You want to do this. When I had my tie company, like I said, when I was, hopping on stages with ties and shit, she was the first one to buy it. Like, she's always been there, And it's still here to this day. Like I wouldn't have been able to get through school these last couple of years if she wasn't here. Having heard the difference between me being in the house we in now and being in the tent on fucking Gower Street in Hollywood somewhere. Like, and yeah, and then my grandmother. My grandmother is the first person who showed me entrepreneurship. You know, I grew up in from elementary school to right when it was time for me to go to middle school, I grew up in St. Mary's County. And my grandmother used to do everybody's taxes. So when tax season came around, you know, grandma was stacking paper.
Caking.
She was doing everybody's books, doing all that stuff. Like, so when I first started learning about LLCs and business and all the rest of that stuff, she helped me. Like, she helped me make my first business, washing cars, walking dogs, when I was in 3rd grade. Got me business cards, bank account, everything. So she's the entrepreneur in my family for sure.
That's what's up. That's
good, man. Keep the family close, man. I'll tell you
For
right
sure.
now.
For sure.
All right, now, Rick, look. You all right? Boy, drunk over here.
No, the mic is in a new position.
He used to having the mic in his damn face.
Yeah, I used to be like this, and people were like, man, the mic is in your damn face. So I gotta move the joke now.
So what's something about your industry that surprised you lately?
Everybody be scared, bro. Everybody just be scared.
Scared of what?
We
Scared
do,
of
bro.
what?
We do. I gotta. You heard I said we.
Yeah.
We do, bro. We do.
Yeah, man. I mean, when I came to AFI as a producer to study, right? Like a lot of the kids, or a lot of the people, just in general, they weren't kids. I can't say they were kids, but a lot of the people that were there, they wanted to go to AFI like their entire life. I had just learned what the hell the school was maybe 2 months prior to me applying.
Yeah, I've never.
I had no clue
until you started
You know
going.
what I'm saying? Like, it's like it's what we said earlier. It's about the opportunity and experience and knowing these things even exist. So for me, when I get there, I had imposter syndrome. You know, I didn't feel like I was supposed to be there because they talking about this filmmaker, this director, the history of this, and this cinematographer. I'm like, I don't know none of this shit, bro. I just like making shit. That's it. You know, I have an idea.
Me to fucking work.
Yeah, like just let me work, bro. Like, and get out the way. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, you know, and I learned those things over time. But even now, there's like these prerequisites in the industry where it's like, oh, you gotta have seen this film. You gotta have read these many books, and then you gotta read these many scripts, and then you also gotta write this much if you want to be a writer. You gotta produce this much if you want to produce it. Directors gotta direct, and I'm like, I'm all three. How am I gonna get time to do all this shit?
Exactly.
I don't have it. Like, I can't go backwards and change my experience just to fit your criteria. So I'm gonna keep working and doing what I'm doing, and I learn that way. You know, books are great, and I read them when I read them, but I don't feel obligated to read what's in your top 100 list just because you say that.
Niggas ain't reading books for real, bro.
They not.
I'm sticking to that. Like, everybody looking to be crazy. We was at a function, and they was like, every time it's a movie or something come out, they'd be like, I'd be like, man, this movie with some shit. They'd be like, you ain't read the book? No, I didn't read the fucking book. I didn't read the book. I waited for the movie. I don't want to read the book, bro. Come on, bro. Read no goddamn books.
But it's both is okay. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I ain't knocking it. I just ain't doing it. Shit. I can pick one.
Everybody got, man, look, I'll tell you this. Audible, my best friend right now, bro. That's my best friend. Like, man,
where is that right now for audio books and shit like that now?
Audible like that. I listened to, you know, when I started on Audible, I was listening to some, you know, self-empowerment, you can do it shit and all this. I was like, man, I just want a nigga to tell me a story. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need a story told to me. And I honestly hadn't been able to find. I had a lot of recommendations. But I'll get into that. That's where my next endeavor is. I'll get into that whole thing with audio books and other YouTube series and movies and shit like that. I get into it, man. I got a real bad fucking thing about that, man. Real bad.
Yeah, man. That's it though. Everybody's scared. Like, everybody is trying to be what they want to be in the eyes of other people. You know, nobody want to take chances. Nobody want to take risks. That's why you get, instead of doing Full House, you got Fuller House. Like, nobody want to create anything new. They all looking at, all right, what old stuff can we make? If it worked
like
before,
I
it can
hate
work
the
again.
revamp shit.
It's like,
I
come
hate
on,
it.
man.
I ain't think
I
about
hate
that. That's true.
I hate the
Yeah.
revamp because to me, I'm like, don't nobody have enough creativity to make their own shit.
Exactly. And at one point, them
Like,
shows
that
that you
blows me. And
revamped
then when
was
you do a
original.
remake, it's terrible.
Exactly.
And it ain't been one
Exactly.
good remake. Like, name one good remake, though. I can't name one.
I'll say this. Bel Air hitting for me right now.
Okay,
I was thinking about it.
Besides
I was
that,
thinking about
Bel Air
that.
hitting
I
right
was
now,
thinking
bro.
about
to
that.
me, Bel Air is totally different. I'm talking about a
is.
remake. Like, you tried to remake it like the original shit.
That's what people mess up.
They didn't try to do that.
Yeah, many
Yeah,
times. Like,
yeah.
I can't. Like, for instance, so I'm a horror film fanatic. They fucking redid Halloween. That's on Netflix. Fucking fucked it up. It's horrible. It's disgusting.
Is a book for that too?
I don't fucking know. I don't, nigga. If it ain't a pop-up book, I'm not reading it. Or a cookbook, I'm not reading it. It's not a cookbook or a pop-up book, I'm not reading it. Other than that, it's audiobooks and YouTube. Shit I'm in is true crime and horror stories and shit like that. So I can, instead of listening to the audiobook, I can watch the actual interrogation of this fucking case rather than doing that shit. So that's
real. That's real.
Understood.
Yeah. So, question: if you were sitting next to the leading expert in your field, what would you ask them?
For their contacts.
Facts. I know that shit.
That's it. Like open up that phone. Like start making introductions. You know, I had a surreal experience actually on Friday. One of the executive producers on my thesis film at AFI, she invited me to this event, and I didn't know who was going to be there. And when I show up, which I'm glad I didn't know who was going to be there, is Oscar nominated, SAG Award nominated, Emmy winners, and I'm just in that joint like, what? Like, how did I even get here?
Go down the list. Who was there?
You know what I'm saying? I can't do that. I can't do that.
Say less. All right.
Can't do that. But
all right.
But I will say when I walked in, like she literally like stopped the whole joint and was like, "I'm so glad you're here," and then made like introductions to me for everybody. So by the time I left the event, like I had like 5-6 new contacts of people that are way above my pay grade at this particular point. You know, but it was off of genuine conversations. It wasn't anything prefabricated where it's like I gotta research the person and oh yeah, we talking about this and I'm schmoozing. No, we just human beings.
Were they receptive?
That's what I loved about it. They were very.
That's what's up. That's
very welcome with open arms. Everything, man. Like everybody was super chill. You know, and I think that's the side of a lot of people in this industry that we don't get a chance to see. Like they're human.
I had the same thing, like no bullshit. I had the same thing happen to me yesterday. So, you know, for the most part, everybody that's close to me know I got a position promotion and not a rank promotion in the Army, right? So with that being said, I deal with I deal with higher echelons on a regular basis. So this weekend I was at New Jersey and I was serving as a board member on the panel for Best Warrior competition. But at the same time, I'm in the battalion, but the headquarters above me is a brigade. The brigade sergeant major, he was retiring. So our overall division commander, who is a 1-star general, was there. So, and then to include the 1-star general at my civilian job, he was there too. So when I see him, he was like, "What are you doing here?" And I was like, "Sir, I'm here." Yeah. I was like, "I'm here for the Best Warrior competition at a retirement." He was like, "Oh, okay." He was like, "Yeah, this is your brigade. I told you I do your commander." I'm like, "Roger, sir." But anyway, they had dinner last night, right? And I heard a whole bunch of people talking about the dinner, but I didn't get an invite, right? So everybody they're like, I'm an E7, they're like E9s, they're like, you know, 1-star, 2-star generals, like they're like 2 or 3 echelons above me, right? I normally don't hang with that crowd. So I was like, all right, I didn't get the invite. Everybody was asking me, was I going? I was like, I'm not going. I didn't get the invite. But my soldier, I had a soldier in my battalion. He competed. He did really, really well. He didn't place, but the effort that he gave, that's all I asked for. So I took him out to eat. But then I got a text message from the sergeant major. He was like, "Hey man," he was like, "Here's the address to Jimmy's." He was like, "Are you coming?" I was like, "Well, I didn't get the invite." He was like, "Well, I'll see you when you get here." So I'm like, "All right, Roger." So I went, right, and then next thing I know, the table that I was sitting with are like 1-star, 2-star generals, E9s. You know, they've got 20 plus, almost 30 years of experience. like I'm bumping elbows with them, and we're just sitting there talking about restaurants in freaking Virginia and DC because they're stationed in this area, right? They're asking me questions because they was like, well, what do you do? Blah, 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 blah. And I was like, well, I work for this individual sitting across from me, but I have 2 businesses. And they was like, oh, well, I need to come talk to you because I need to come get a gun. Or you know what? They was like, don't tell me that you'll cook because I'll hire you and have you in my house every day. Just stuff like that. So it was stuff outside of work, right? And it was just a genuine conversation to the point that these people are now texting me, like all of them texted me this morning. It was like, hey, just checking to make sure that you got in okay, blah, 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 blah. I enjoyed conversing with you, even though that you got forced into the position that you're in, I feel confident enough that you're going to be excellent at that job. You know what I mean? To me, that means a lot. So I had the same experience, man. And that's a dope experience to have, man. So shout out to that.
No, and it was perfectly done. Because I think she probably knew, had she told me who was going to be there, how nervous I would have been. You know what I'm saying? And how much work I would have done.
Like that.
Yeah, bro. But it was literally, I was talking to certain people about, the things, my plans for the future and all the rest of that, just in the conversation. And I could hear her behind me talking to other people about me. You know what I'm saying? So to have like an ally like that, that's bringing you into something, 1, because they respect you, but 2, because they know that you are doing things that are important to not only them, but important to everything else, enough to bring you around people that, you're not in the same league yet, and I think that was a special moment for me, because it's like, it's one of those things we always say, like, your name is being spoken in rooms you haven't entered in. And that was the moment when I finally was like, oh shit, I just entered the room.
That's good, man.
Nigga, I made it.
Yeah, that's what I said. Sound like you on your way, bro.
That's what's up, bro.
So real quick, man, like, do you have like a role model that's in your industry? And if so, why? Why did you choose that person? Or did they choose you?
I got a couple, some that know it, some that don't, but the one particularly right now that knows it is Tommy Oliver. I'm a coordinator at his company, Confluential. For those that don't know, Confluential is a husband and wife team that actually do the Black Love docs. Tommy's a writer, director, cinematographer. He creates his own stuff, shoots his own stuff. And instead of relying on somebody else's dime to make it, he makes it himself and then just licenses.
Shout out to Mr. Oliver.
It's the business model that I've always liked from doing independent music. Like, we come from a generation of, make it yourself, get it out your trunk. And that's the epitome of what he's doing in film, it's that get it out the trunk model, that I'm gonna do it my way. You like it, you don't, but just stay out the way. So I'm privileged to be at that company for sure.
And the thing is, man, the best mentors are the ones that don't even know that they're your mentors.
Yes,
for sure.
They the one, they don't even know that they expiring, that they fucking molding you into some shit.
They don't know unless you physically tell them, and then once you tell them, like the reaction that you get from them is just like, really.
I mean, you do tell them at some point.
Yeah, at some point you don't tell them off. Right?
I think you tell them once you get to that peak achievement that you set your goal to.
I've done the same thing. Like, and it wasn't like I did it like, this person's been my mentor for like 3 or 4 years, but then once a big event that's happening either in my career or something, I was like, this individual was my mentor. He taught me this, that, and the third about that. They was like, damn, I was your mentor. Why you never tell me? I didn't feel like I need to.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You was already doing everything that I needed from, you was doing everything that I needed without even me asking you for that. It was a genuine concern for myself, right? Whether it's my career or whatever. And you was just talking to me and giving me pointers that I didn't ask. So those are the ones that you want, man.
Yeah, I mean, I've had a bunch. Like, when I was acting in Atlanta, the first person to actually invest in my career as a filmmaker was Greg Allen Williams, who was my acting coach. Greg Allen played Uncle Mac on Greenleaf. He's on The Righteous Gemstones now. Like, he was the first person that looked at me and was like, oh, yeah, you're going to do some special shit. you know,
That's
and
what's up.
actually put his money where his mouth was for me to be able to even make that film that I made to take it to festivals. You know, Will Smith has been a mentor probably to all of us for years. You know what I'm saying? He probably the whole reason you got Audible was looking at them self-help books, The
Yeah, he ain't
Alchemist,
lying.
4 Agreements, all that shit. Like that's Will. Charles King is producing his ass off right now, and probably is going to be. He's already one of the biggest producers in the game. Produced Judas and the Black Messiah, and I mean, you name it, and he's done it. Robert Townsend, same thing. Maxed out his credit cards to make Hollywood Shuffle. Like those are the type of people that I look at, like the ones who ain't afraid to just do it on their own. You know, because everybody gonna tell you no until you tell yourself yes.
My wife be telling me that shit. Shout out to the wife. I'm gonna
Facts.
give her a hug and a kiss after this. Look, nigga ain't too proud. My mom, look, my wife, she done picked me up plenty of times, man, when I was just questioning this shit, man. Like, fuck. She's like, no, get your ass up. We'll figure it out.
I've been part of that crew, you know, being uplifted by a strong Black woman for sure.
Hey,
like,
we've all been there.
Bro, how many the times when I ain't had no money and she slid money to me under the table so I could pay for the dinner and not be embarrassed. You know what I'm saying?
Shit like doing that. I'd be like, she got this. Who the check? Look, she put the check down. I'd be like, hey, look, there wasn't no shit. I'm like, because I knew I was gonna get her back. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, get you back, boy. I got you. Go ahead. Man, wife, she's the gas up the hoopy and everything.
Man, it was times when I wasn't sure if I was gonna be able to get anything back. Like, you know, and you know, they've been there through all of that. That's always, you know, a super asset to us as not only men but just being Black men. Period.
Hey,
you know, you face a lot of shit.
Tell it. All right, next question. What's the biggest challenge that the industry is facing today, and what may be the biggest challenge the industry may be facing in 10 years?
Man, I feel like all my answers is changing from what I wrote before. I don't even know. Like,
that's good though. That's good. That's good. Coming from your soul.
Today, biggest challenge the industry is facing today. I'll go with originality. I'll go with originality. Everybody's trying to play it safe. You know, if you got a book or something that did well and made the New York Times bestseller, then they're gonna try to option that and make a movie out of it. Like, nobody wants to give the person with no credits, no experience, you know what I'm saying, and no name a shot, even if they read the material and they like, this is the best shit I've ever read. Nobody want to be the first person to take that chance because they're afraid that if they give you that chance and you fuck it up, it's gonna reflect on them, and then they're not gonna get a second chance. You know, so everybody's just So originality is, you know, it's what the business should be modeled after, but it's not. It's modeled after success and numbers right now.
I agree with you on the originality, man. Yeah, something, you know, I be paying attention to this random shit. So I noticed the last couple of years, right? Let's just talk about a string of movies that was coming out. The last maybe, I don't know, 10 years, 10 to 5 years. It was all like zombie movies, right? All zombie.
That was a niche.
It was all zombie shit was hitting. And what is it now? All this post-apocalyptic shit. Space, the world about to end shit. I'm like, damn, bro. Like, everybody just gonna come out with their version of the shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
from their eyes, from this director's eyes.
Yeah, it happens. It happens for two reasons. One is because one joint will succeed in that realm, and they'll be like, all right, what can we make that's like that? Right? It happens for that reason, but it also happens because creators are human beings. So when things are in the world and we're talking about them and we're communicating about them, they get in the zeitgeist, and then, you know, before you know it, everybody got the same idea, even though they never talked. It might be like a little bit of difference here, a little bit of difference there, but it's a natural conversation that's happening in the world. Like, we all doing the post-apocalyptic shit because of COVID.
Yeah.
You know, so our experience.
Ain't nobody say shit about the movie Contagion, though.
Man,
let me tell you,
if that shit ain't an accurate depiction of fucking COVID when it first started,
that shit was coming on TV. I'm like, nope, change it.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah, man.
All right, so where or how do you self-educate yourself or make you a subject matter expert in your field?
I watch a lot of interviews. I watch a lot of interviews with people. I think I learn more from people than I do from books. You know, to that point, somebody said to me, I told them, I was like, yeah, I'm not an avid reader. And they was like, oh, well, you're in the wrong business. I said, not really.
Right.
Because every person I meet is a book. If I can read that, I can read any story you give me and give you the proper feedback. I can tell you a lot about a little about a lot, just based off of my experiences. Like I'm not trying to be a master of one thing. You know, that's just boring to me. I'd rather know a lot about everything and know that I know nothing at the same damn time. You know what I mean? Like, that's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
That's some acting
what
skills.
You know,
man.
Everything and nothing at all.
that's some acting skills, man. Shit. Like nigga, put the acting on him.
Right.
Shit. Put the thing on him. Shit. That's good, man. So where we at? What's been the most influential resource? What's been your best resource of your career? What's your go-to? Always works.
That's a hard question. Silence.
Really?
Silence.
Yeah. Explain. Please explain, because I think I know where you're gonna go.
I mean, when you wear multiple hats, as y'all know, doing this show, right? Because you got to record the show. One of y'all engineering this joint right now. Another one controlling the camera and the video. Then when you finish, somebody got edited, somebody got uploaded. You're doing all these different things, right? And you're supposed to be doing one thing in the moment, but your mind is on 50 different other things. So anytime I get into a situation where I feel like I'm overwhelmed or something's not going right and I can't figure out how to solve it, I just got to sit and be quiet. Because that meditation and that quality is going to help me filter out all the shit that's not important in this particular moment to actually get to the place that I need to be in, which is now. You know, so silence for me it's the most important, but it's also like one of the hardest things to get, because you know, you can try to sit in silence, but your phone gonna buzz. You know, somebody gonna tap you on your shoulder, or you getting notifications from this or that. Like it's never a quiet moment sometimes. So you kind of got to steal those moments whenever you can.
Right. That's what's
good
up, bro.
fucking answer though.
Yeah.
You've been dropping bombs, man.
Dropping gems, boy. Dropping gems.
So what underrated tools are indispensable for your job?
I would say reading people. Okay. You know, people will show you before they tell you what's going on with them. And I think a lot of times we take shit really, really personal instead of like actually trying to assess what that person might be going through and then how what they're going through is really what's causing them to respond to you, not what you did to them. You know, and I think that's it's an undervalued thing because it requires a certain amount of empathy and awareness in the moment that we don't always have patience for. You know, like today when I ordered my food, it was a dude behind the cash register and he had no customer service skills. And the first thing I want to say is like, why the fuck they got you behind the cash register?
Man, hey, bro, that shit
like, what
be
is you
blowing
doing?
my life.
It be blowing me, especially we talking about food.
Yeah, exactly. But then the presence of mind and the awareness is like, hey man, he controlling your food. Chill out.
Yeah.
Like get your food and then just know, all right, you can either Yelp him or not come back. Like you don't have to do that because whatever he's feeling right now,
slam your shit on the floor and rewrap that shit.
You know what I'm
be yelping? Y'all really be yelping people stuff?
I don't
you be yelping people stuff for real?
Man, my wife will yelp the shit out of somebody, bro. I'll wait till we get in the car.
I will yelp the shit out of you, motherfucker.
Handle that.
I feel like if I'm gonna yelp somebody, I gotta at least sleep on it. I don't want to just come fresh out of the restaurant like I'm gonna fuck this shit up.
Nah, bro,
I gotta at least sleep on it.
Man, them thumbs be smoking, bro, in the car.
I know she be on they ass.
Killing that joint.
Damn,
It's like that Kermit the Frog meme when he's hit the keyboard.
Exactly. Killing that joint.
I'm gonna start yelping some shit. I was like, you know what? You'll be hearing from me. You'll be hearing from me.
Oh man! All right, so if you could start a business tomorrow, what would that business be?
Black Magic Content. I already
Explain
started.
that. Explain that.
Black Magic Content. The name for it comes from the first short film that I did that I told y'all about. That was titled Black Magic, and I came up with the logo of putting black with no vowels, BLKMGC, inside of a box. Because what I realized is we all try so hard to not be defined by something. But for me, what I realized with our culture, Black people specifically, we've been the largest import into this country, and now we're the largest export. Our culture, the shit that we determine is cool, all of it is being used in you know, as a commodity right now, or as a resource, or as a natural resource, really. You know, when we talk about what's the Wakanda metal, the vibranium.
Yeah.
When we talk about that, that's us.
Yeah.
Our culture is that for us, and it's always been like that. So for me, instead of trying to go outside the box, it's like I'm gonna stay right in this box and do what's true to me. And y'all can come in and get it from me, but you ain't about to be able to steal it.
Yeah, we are tied in everything, man.
Yeah.
Everything.
So,
I give you an example. So it's TikTok shit. You know, TikTok popping.
Exactly.
I'm telling you right, man. TikTok is the shit. You ain't got TikTok to get you what. I'm telling y'all something. I'm telling you, it'll save your life. You know, they say right now when people Googling for shit, they go to TikTok. They don't go to Google. More people we go to TikTok.
I believe that just off the fucking hashtag
That's
Amazon
crazy.
finds, motherfucker. Like you're finding shit on Amazon that you thought never fucking existed.
Yeah. So example. So you know how like we notorious come up with the little dances and shit. You got the one dude doing the little fucking slide, baby. And he sliding across the room.
Oh yeah, and he was doing it.
Yeah. So at one point they were saying, hey, stop doing the dances and shit, because what happens is other people, non-African American, will go do the same shit and they get more views.
And then they make it look like they created it.
And make it look like they created it. So I didn't notice it until
that shit's been happening to us for years.
It's been happening to us for a minute,
bro. It's Elvis.
But
you know what I'm saying? Fuck him and John Wayne. Like that's how it is, bro. Like it's been like that, and I think that's what my business. That's what I want my business to be, and that's what it is for me. It's maintaining that ownership and that control of those things, which is why, for me, Tommy is kind of like my blueprint for what I want to do. Like nobody is telling him what to make and what not to make. When you have that type of control and you don't need to have your hand out for nothing, can't nobody do nothing.
Right. So what type? So if you can get in specifics, what type of content are you talking about?
Stories from Black and brown people, made by Black and brown people, and seen by Black and brown people.
Are you about to be like the Black version of White Underbelly? White Underbelly. Those are good. That's a good ass shit on YouTube anyway. But
I mean, I haven't seen it, but I will say nothing that's been created is not the Black version.
Right.
For me.
Okay.
So it's like what I want is the autonomy and the resources from the things that we create to go back to us. You know, I want to be able to put younger me in that position to see that producing is actually a job. And this is how you do it. You know, and until we do that for the people who come after us and, you know, the younger versions of us, we're going to be in the same situations fighting for the same shit all over and over and over again.
It's
like
you got a circle of life of this.
Yeah, man. You talking about TikTok now, how these kids create these videos and these dances. Somebody is finding the talent to dance in these videos. Somebody sourcing the song, somebody editing the video, somebody finding the location, right? Somebody getting all these kids together. Somebody's doing the marketing. Like they already are producers.
Yep. Or you got that one individual that's doing everything by themselves.
Exactly. They got the skill set
I see
already.
it.
We just not exposing them to what it is.
You know, we came a long way on the movies, man.
Yeah.
We came a long way on the black films. You know how them shits was in the beginning. It had to be. It was some.
Fuck is you talking about, you jive turkey?
It went from that, and then it went to, you know, just predominantly relationship shit. And this person 2 can play that game, 3 can play that game. I'm like, come on, bro, the game is over. You know what I'm saying? And now, man, you look at, like, you know, your Michael B. Jordans and shit like that who can play in anything. I love that. Like, when I see a film and you can play in anything. It don't matter what the scene is. If it's back in some Game of Thrones shit or it's some futuristic, you just playing this part and it don't fucking matter. Like, I love that. To me, that shows the evolution of what's going on, because now this is my opinion. At one time, we was just only making like the black films or some hood shit or something like that. So I don't think we're doing that anymore. Well, it's still there, but it's not the only fucking thing now. Like, we're not just known for that now.
Yeah. That's a part of it, right? That's a part of the control and being able to do it yourself. You know, I mean, we don't give enough credit to like folks like Master P, who just did I Got the Hook Up out his own pocket. You know, you thinking Ice Cube literally left music and started writing screenplays, had never done it before. You know, and I tell people all the time, like, for me, rappers are the best screenwriters in the world, because every fucking song a movie.
Yeah.
Every one of them.
Well,
as long as you write it right.
You know, they all got a location, a relationship, and a conflict. Every single one of them, and it's literally set up in that way. Like, you can talk about being in the club, and it's like, all right, who you with? What club you at? What y'all drinking? All right, who hating on you? That's the conflict. Yeah. Location, relationship, conflict. That's all every screenplay is.
Yeah, bro. I see that
over and over and over again.
like that.
I gotta pull up some Gunna.
We
got to check out the location of this Pesbian he talking about. These niggas wild, bro. I mean, this shit, they just wild to me. I think it's hilarious, but I also see that they're having fun. So I'm like, man, like, I love when niggas having fun. I don't like the super serious rapping niggas. Like, have some fun, bro.
For sure.
So one more last question, man. We just gonna get to some Q&A, man. So, what other occupation would you like to try outside of everything you're doing now? What else would you like to dabble in?
Damn. Man, you tell me. You got that paper, man. I know I had a smart answer on that joint. I don't want to forget it.
You were saying an inventor. You wanted to be an inventor.
Yeah, that's corny though. That's corny.
All right, well, give me the real shit.
That's some shit when you type it in the computer, you be like, "Yeah, this gonna get him right here." Nah, that ain't got no.
I'd be like, invent what?
Yeah, that's exactly. Like, what the fuck you invent?
Ain't got no seasoning on it. I would say a teacher. I'd be a teacher.
Okay, Mr. High Tower.
Sure. Yeah. You know, hey, look, quiet as kept. Think about the teachers that we experienced in high school. Like, the first name that came to your mind was Mr. Martin when we were doing that flashback.
Hey, look, he
taught us a lot, bro.
Administrator on the planet,
for sure.
Mr. Wendell Martin was our administrator in high school.
Wendell,
and he was also he was the OG frat brother for Duran, because he was a Kappa, and he helped us with all our step stuff.
Everything, man.
I came late. I didn't all pass the class.
You one of them.
But he took care of it. But he was also on our ass though, to make sure that we was doing what we supposed to do. Make sure we was where we supposed to be at. He just retired as a principal. He was a principal. Now he's a flight attendant, living his life. Shout out to
Them the best teachers, man. The ones that actually treat you like you're a human being. Or kind of, I don't want to say like you're an adult, but like a young adult.
He actually had genuine care for us, like no cap.
Right.
No cap.
Shout out.
And if you was messing up, he just gave you that look.
Yeah, like, get your ass to class now. It's like, all right, I'm on the way. I'm on the way.
Okay. Well, look, man, that's pretty much all we have for the questions, man. So we're
I got
gonna
a couple more though, to be honest.
You got what?
I got a couple questions. Hey, talk about
Okay,
all right.
go ahead.
So talk about what just happened in Sundance and what your project was.
So I had kind of two Sundance experiences, right? I was in the Sundance Creative Producers Lab with this feature script called The Incredible Heist of Hallelujah Jones, which was written by Victor Gabriel. Vic was the year ahead of me in AFI as a screenwriter. I read his script, fell in love with the joint, called him and was like, look, bro, I don't think you need any notes. I don't think you need to do anything. Like, how can we get this joint made? And I ended up becoming a producer on the feature. So I applied to the Sundance Lab with the feature, got into the lab. So we're having meetings with different people trying to, pitch the film. But before we did that, me, Vic, and my producing partner, Cotty Chubb, sat down and we decided because Vic wants to direct this, we needed to do a short film, kind of like as a proof of concept, because he only had directed one thing prior. So we needed something else for people to be able to be like, all right, they can actually pull this off, right? So we made this short film, shot it in his backyard and his neighbor's front yard, and submitted it to Sundance and was like, all right, we'll see what happens. He called me screaming in the phone. We got into the Sundance Film Festival with the short. And this was after we were in the lab. So
that's a big fucking deal.
All of that shit just happened in the course of like a year. Like we shot that film in February during COVID. Barely any money, just trying to piece it together. Friends doing favors and neighbors doing favors, the community rallying behind us. And it turned out to be something special enough that Sundance looked at it and was like, yeah, we want to put this out. So the experience, although it wasn't what we wanted it to be because Omicron kind of shut everything back down, it was virtual. The love that we got from people after they saw the film was like, I ain't never experienced something like that.
Right. That's
like we really felt like we were probably this close to winning an award at that festival based off of how people were talking about it.
That's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
That's bro. You're doing it, bro. I'm happy for you, dog.
Yeah. All right. So talk about 5 for me. Let people know what 5 is.
Yeah. So 5 is my AFI thesis film. Me and Keenan Scott. Keenan Scott is the writer of a Broadway play called Thoughts of a Colored Man
that your wife went to go see.
She did. She freestyled in front of what's the old boy name?
Mac Wilds.
Yeah. She freestyled in the line out in front of Mac Wilds.
Why you got that look on your face?
You look so mad right now.
She's just silly. She's silly, dog. She really enjoyed herself. She freestyled. It was on Facebook, Instagram, all that shit.
Yeah, so Keenan went to high school with me and Rick.
Yeah, he went to high school with us.
So we kept in touch over the years. He was doing music when I was doing music. We both did poetry and spoken word. And he figured out
mean with the spoken word. The spoken word
beast, bro. Since he was probably 13.
Yeah.
He was doing open mics with grown ass men in DC, like killing it. And I think Keenan figured out he could be a playwright way before I figured out I could do film. So when I came to AFI, I was like, all right, cool, let me start reaching out to my people again. And I wanted to do a short film of Thoughts of a Colored Man as my thesis, but because it was going to Broadway, it just wasn't going, it wasn't going to match up. And Keenan was like, look, man, I got this other story that I worked on like in 2012. Like, I ain't touched it since, but I think you might like the idea. I read it, called him back, and I was like, yeah, let's do this one. Would you mind if I write it? Because the story that he had written was about this young kid in a juvenile detention center who converts to Islam and comes back home to his community in New York and has to wrestle with the place that basically sent him to a juvenile detention center with this newfound religion. But my brother is also incarcerated. He's been incarcerated since about 2012 when Keenan actually wrote the script, ironically. And he converted to Islam, like I think on his 3rd year being locked up. And the person that I talk to on the phone now is way different than that person before. So it gave me, Keenan got a story by credit on it, and it gave me an opportunity to write from a personal place, as well as produce this film. So the lady that I was telling you about that took me to that party was actually one of the producers on Keenan's Broadway play. And that's kind of how everything kicked off. And so with that thesis film, it's about a young kid named Malcolm Harris who gets locked up at the age of 16 for a reckless homicide, goes to prison for 7 years, converts to Islam, and he's coming back home to his community in Compton to seek forgiveness from his mother. And the whole time you're watching the film, you don't know what his crime is. And then once you figure out and you understand it, what it communicates to you is empathy for people who have been incarcerated when you don't know their whole story. Right? Because the first thing we do when somebody's like, oh yeah, I got a felony or I was locked up for this amount of time, you put distance between you and that other person without knowing what the things are that actually led them to being incarcerated. Right? You don't see the full-fledged human being that's in front of you that's changed. You only see the person who committed that crime, and they always held accountable for that for the rest of their lives. Every job application, everywhere you go, everybody got to know that.
Yep. That's what's up. That's what's up, bro. That's what's up. So shout out to Keenan. You know, I know he's a busy man, but I would love to get Keenan on the show. But
for sure.
Keenan, come holler at us, man.
He's a very busy man. He got a new project. I seen him that he posted. So congrats to Keenan. Man. But if I could definitely get him on the show, I would definitely, enjoy that. But whatever.
He had fun with that.
1,000 more episodes to put out. So
shout out to my team too to help make that film. David Arantes, my director. My cinematographer, Dawita Dira, my editor, Eric Osman, Rashi Jane, our production designer, and Jacob Gibson, who starred in it, Charles Smith, Hillary Ward, JD Hall. Like, everybody did an amazing job on that film, man. Like, it's literally one of those things when you watch it, you can tell everybody was tapped into what the story was and they actually felt what they were doing. And that's always the most important thing.
Yeah. That's what's up, bro. That's what's up.
Any more questions?
What questions you got for us, bro?
Hey, you got something for us?
Man, I need to know more about this gout, man. We've been skating around it. I've been holding my jokes. You said your wife was freestyling the line. I wanted to say, you have crutches on when you was in line?
No. So do you know what it is?
Yeah. All
right, so pretty much I work as a government employee, you know what I'm saying, looking for the escape hatch, you know what I'm saying? And I've been teleworking for like 2 years. So what you don't know, but like I'm a runner, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm a routine type of guy. So me getting up at 5:30 in the morning, you know what I'm saying, getting myself together, getting, work clothes already ironed out, you know what I'm saying, light starch, coffee made, lunch already packed up, out
creases
the door,
in his jeans,
no creases. New Balance, cleaned off. You know what I'm saying? I'm used to I'm a routine person. So go to work, you know what I'm saying? Take my break. I walk around the mall, you know what I'm saying? Like I had been doing that shit for like 11, 12 years. And then they say you work from home. So I'm like, okay, that's sweet. You know what I'm saying? But after like 6 months, I'm like, man, fuck this, dog. Then I started losing it. So then, you know what I'm saying, my already kind of had a poor diet, but because I was always active, it was kind of counteracting. So I could still eat, you know what I'm saying, eat whatever. But then just being home, not being active, I wasn't going to the gym. Half the day, we on the fucking PlayStation. PlayStation is here, and then the work laptop is here. And I'm just answering calls in between, shooting emails, all that. Then I would get off work, and I would go to sleep. And then I would wake up and be like, well, let me pour me a little drink. I ain't doing shit. You know what I'm saying? And then doing that for months and months and years, we went to happy hour for his promotion. You know what I'm saying? And I think I had like red meat overload. I guess.
It was good food, though.
The food was good as fuck. Yeah, I mean, it would have been 100 other niggas with a swollen foot. And it's like we didn't even drink that much. We probably had like 3 drinks, but we had like a lot. We had a good amount of food, so soaked it up. So I dropped him off. Went home. I wake up at like 2 in the morning. My motherfucking foot is throbbing. I'm like, God damn. I'm thinking, because I was upset when I got home. You know what I'm saying? And I'm thinking, I'm like, damn, I ain't kicked nothing, did I? So I had walked around for like 48 hours questioning Was I that drunk?
Like, that
did I
nigga called me spazzing. The nigga was like, bruh, was we drunk last night? I'm like, no, we weren't drunk. We were sober as shit. We had a couple drinks, had some good ass food. We was good. He was like, bruh, my foot is fucking killing me.
Like, it felt like it was broke. Like, it felt like it was broken.
And I was like, we was fine. I said, so what happened from the time that you dropped me off? Because he picked me up. I said, so what happened from the time that you dropped me off till you got home? I don't fucking know. I was like, maybe wifey hit you with a fucking hammer or some shit while you was asleep. I don't fucking know.
I'm talking about like it was like pissed. Throbbing pain. So then, like halfway through the day, the pain it went away. So I was like, okay, I'm good. And then we went out for Valentine's Day. We went to this little restaurant called the Food Market in Columbia. It's pretty good. And I had probably 4 drinks there. Shit was John week though. And I had seafood. And woke up the next day. Shit was throbbing, but it was swollen. So I was like, bro, what's going on now? And then after that, the pain just never went away. So I'm like gimping, like, where are my crutches? Because I was in real life pain. So I went to the doctor. I went to Kaiser. You know, Kaiser, man, they falling off, dog. And went up in Kaiser. The lady came in and she was like, okay, show me your foot. And she's like, what was you doing? So I told her the same thing I just told you. And she's like, yeah, it sounds like you got gout. So I was like, what you mean? She just printed out this paper showing what looked like my damn foot right here on the big toe is swollen, the uric acid overload from the red meat and alcohol, not drinking no water, not exercising, blah, blah, blah. All that shit will cause it to swell. But like, it feels like it's broke though, because it's kind of crystallizing a little bit. So for like a week, I'm taking fucking 2 800 milligram ibuprofen just to sleep through the night, because if I take one at about 3 a.m., the pain is back.
Yeah. I'm calling this nigga like, what's up, bro? Like we talk about, I'm trying to call him to get some podcast shit together. We
I ain't want to record
that.
Shit.
That nigga was like, man, fuck you, my fucking foot, bro. Fuck you.
Look, I'm gonna tell you something. I was like, man, we might have to cancel this shit, bro. I'm like, my fucking foot was hurting. I'm in, two-story house. We in the basement, up the steps, then to the bedroom, up the steps. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, too much walking going on. But it went down, you know what I'm saying? And so I said, no alcohol, no red meat for a little while. I don't know if I really have it or not, because I didn't get signed, officially diagnosed, but it was definitely a wake-up call for me. You know what I'm saying? And this is why I always say, like, bro, I hate being in the house, hate being in the house, hate being in the house. Like, people would be really thinking I'm bugging out. I was like, yeah, but I don't have it like your average teleworker who can just clock the fuck in at 8 a.m., go back to sleep. You know what I'm saying? Wake up, go to the grocery store or take a nap or go to the gym and come back, then do some work. No, once I clock in at 7:30, I'm on until 4. Regardless if nothing is going on or not, I can't leave. I'm like an essential staff type deal. So that's how it happened. That's
so
that's
how you changing the diet moving forward? Once these 30 days is up.
So
here it come. I already know what it is.
Come on, bro.
I'm sorry.
So
but that nigga has a very exquisite diet.
You do?
Yes, he does.
All right, well, good. So me and the
you
wife
can't do it though.
So we started fucking with like some Hello Fresh shit. That was just mainly more so because she was mainly the main one cooking. So she was kind of running out of ideas. So I was like, well, let's do this. And then I'll cook some shit too. So we was just kind of, just doing some shit there. Whatever we like, we would keep it. I like stop eating pork, though.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. That thing sting a little bit. That sting more than alcohol.
Man.
I used to fuck some bacon and eggs up. But I mean, once I can get like full power back to the foot, like right now it's not swollen nothing, but it's still tender right there on the joint. So I mean, I'm going back to I did CrossFit for about a year and a half. I loved it. It's expensive, but it was just the type of workout I like because it's military-esque-ish type joint. So I'm going back to CrossFit, and once in 1 more, I'll be back cycling. So that'll be my exercise.
Cycling about to be lit this year.
Cycling gonna be lit. They already out.
Yeah, they out already. Yeah, we doing 20, 30 miles on a regular basis. Cycling about to be lit.
Look, you blink your eye, you done did 10 miles. As long as ain't nobody falling out.
Look, bro, not the way I got a road bike in the garage right now. Not the way them seats set up. No, you not.
You gotta get your gel seat, bro. You gotta get the padded shorts.
I got all that. You know damn well that shit don't matter. It
do be fucked up after like mile 10.
After 20 miles, it's all pain from there,
bro. What? I am good, bro.
I got about a 25 mile limit. Anything after that, I'm like, I'm not gaining shit out of there.
I got like 15. I got 15 in me.
And the
That's
reason
it.
why I say that is because like people who do like the people who do the century rides, like you got to stop so many times. If I got to stop, that means I'm done.
We stopped once, and that's
If
at
I
the
do
halfway
15
mark.
miles and we're gonna stop at like 10 or something like that, that's fine. But then we going back. If I gotta stop and get something to eat, I'm done. Why you still riding, bro? Your body is dead.
I knew a motherfucker that ran marathons, but he had cheeseburgers and shit in the fanny pack, so he would eat while he was running.
Stupid.
But that was a way of that was a source of fuel for him for his body because he was running.
No, I get that.
He was running like 50 to fucking 70 miles.
I get that, but I mean, whatever I come out the house, whatever I have in my body in the house, that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
I'm not packing the motherfucking Chipotle.
No, we got water, we got gloves, we got the helmets, we got the glasses, and we got music because we crank.
That's it. That's it.
No food.
That's crazy.
You got anything else?
I'm glad you're changing that diet though. Like that's it. Like Ricky told you, like I've been vegan for like the last 6 years.
Yeah.
Oh,
but
yeah.
Before that, but before that, I was pescatarian for like 8 or 9 years.
That's so only seafood, right?
Just seafood. Yeah, and then I went cold turkey to pescatarian to vegan. But like it changed everything because I mean what I realized, much like what you realize, is I was eating shit because I was used to it, without even looking at or seeing what the hell was in it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and it blew my mind when I actually started reading labels and figuring out how much salt, how much milk, how much dairy is in everything. And I'm
trans fat.
It don't even make sense. It don't make sense, bro. Like you pick up a bag of barbecue potato chips and it say milk. I'm like, for what?
You ain't lying, bro.
Like, for what?
You ain't lying, bro.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and once you start really thinking about the things that go in your body, then you can start learning how the things you put in your body actually affect you, right? And different things that it can help with. Like, I don't know if you've done a detox yet, but there's probably a detox that you can do that'll clear a lot of that shit.
Hey, guess what? Guess what? Tasha just bought. Thing I did. Guess what? Tasha just bought.
What's that?
I don't know if you heard about it or not, but duck flour.
I haven't heard that.
So duck.
No. I have. It's like you take it and then in an hour, everything's supposed to come out.
Yeah, it's like a extreme violent detox, and like you're throwing up and like shitting on yourself.
I'm good, bro.
But it's it's from Dr. Sebi.
Yeah,
Dr. Sebi gave it to like a whole village and cleared them of everything. So a lot of people who have sinus issues take this duck flour. You either steep it in tea or you ingest it with other food and stuff like that. So Tasha bought it for herself and myself. So we're gonna do it next weekend. Because people say give yourself 3 days. So we're gonna do it on Friday. So we're good for the rest of the weekend. But they said that like people that said they have sinus issues, like they like all their sinuses are like that. It said at one point you're just throwing up nothing but fucking mucus.
Yeah.
That's and it's coming out of your nose, your mouth, your ass,
everything.
Whole thing. Yeah. And Tasha said that might be good for myself because I caught COVID before Christmas, but I've developed bronchitis after that. So I've been having issues with breathing and having chest colds like on a regular basis or just wheezing all the time, right? But then on top of that, I'm trying to get back healthy. He's getting back into CrossFit. I'm getting into CrossFit myself, trying to drop a couple pounds and shit like that and trying to tone up a little bit. But that's just like they said that's like the ultimate detox. But then they said the benefit, I guess the side effects is they said they lost the taste for a lot of different foods, but it depends on your diet and depending on the type of person it is, it may be different foods. So like one lady said she lost the taste. She didn't really feel like eating pork no more. One dude was like, he really stopped eating beef after he detoxed. You know what I mean? They said they felt better. They had more energy. They slept more, stuff like that. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to do it. And I'm going to report on it, right? Full report. And, I'll let everybody know how it goes. Like I'm going to weigh myself before, weigh myself after, say how I feel. Like I'm going to do the whole thing. So
I do a mucus fast twice a year.
Fuck is a mucus fast?
It's basically what you would do with the duck flour, right? But it's a liquid diet. You do it for 3 days. You wake up in the morning, you take 16 ounces of prune juice, right? And you chase it with 8 to 10 ounces of water. And then for every 30 minutes going forward, you alternate 8 to 10 ounces of water and 8 to 10 ounces of apple juice or carrot juice for the entire day, right? And what it does is the same thing the duck flour does. It just cleans you out. But for them 2-3 days, however long you do it, you don't want to leave the house because all you're doing is going to the bathroom.
And it's just the liquid shit. It's not. It's no food or nothing.
Just liquid. It's liquid for 2-3 days. But it does everything you're saying, you know, because where we grew up is like you got between the pollen, our diet, you know, being around people. Like you listen to everybody that talk from Maryland right now, what they talk through. They goddamn nose.
Yep.
Half of us can't even breathe.
Yep.
This is true.
My whole house is stopped up right now.
It's like you just stopped up. And it's
my whole house stopped up right now.
I'm literally
Tasha, wifey and the kids, Tasha always had sinuses issues, right? So the kids have it. Me, not so much. I'm just allergic to pollen and my dog, which is crazy. But no, I get it, bro. I get it. And you know that motherfucker 130 pounds, bro.
I seen it.
That nigga Ronan is 130 pounds, bro.
So I got one more question for you. I want to get into this producing thing. So you mentioned a part about like the sound engineer part. So that is kind of what I'm doing as far as, you know, on the laptop right now. After this, you know, separating the audio and the video and dressing the shit up, putting it on the platforms need to go out. Like I've been kind of trying to look for like a passive income, part-time type deal to kind of get into that, but I actually didn't really know specifically what it was called. I guess you named it for me. Is it sound engineer or
yeah, I mean, it depends on what side you is multiple sides to it, right? Like you can be you can do production sound, which is the guys who are mixing the sound, hooking up the live mics to people on when they on set or holding the boom. Like you can do that. Or you can do it on the back end when you get all those files and you're a sound mixer and you're sitting there editing everything. You could be a Foley artist. Like half the sound of people's footsteps on the floor and doors closing and car crashes and all that shit. They don't have audio for that.
No, it's people like it's people like crushing peppers and slamming.
I've seen that shit.
Bro, that shit's real. That shit's dope,
it's a profession, but it's one of those things where, just like you saying, you identify what it is that you want to do, and then you find the people that are doing it, and you get with them and you just learn. There ain't really like you can go to schools and learn certain things, and you can go to Full Sail and learn sound engineering. You can learn all these different things, but you can also apprentice with somebody.
Like pretty much all I was trying to do, just like be a fly on the wall, kind of, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, more so on the mixing and the editing and all that. That's kind of where I'm at. Like right now, we're in an empty room in my house in the basement in the cave, and like my goal down the road is to like have multiple camera views, like really had a joint litty shit panning back and forth, zooming in when you saying some super important shit. Like that's kind of like my dream setup. You know what I'm saying? Multicam. And I did that in the beginning when it was just me. And I would have like, 1, 2, 3 GoPros. I would have one, and I was using my phone. So I was using 3 to 4 different camera options on this old ass MacBook, and I was on Final Cut Pro, dressing that shit up, and I was going back and forth. So kind of in that realm, just really more deeper into it, and maybe on a bigger scale, pretty much.
No, I would say go and do all of it. You know what I'm saying? I would say don't limit yourself to like, oh, I just want to do it on this side, because if you learn the production sound side, it's going to help you when you get on that other side. The more things you know about the process as a whole, the better you're going to be at that job, because there's certain file formats and the way people edit things. Like we were talking to, when we shot my thesis film, it was literally, we shot at South Central, right? And South Central is real close to the airport. So our production sound guy with the boom and the live mics had to account for the planes flying overhead every damn 5 minutes and the sound being consistent. So he needed to talk to the post-production sound guy about, okay, what formats, what kind of cleanup do you want should I compress it? Should I let you do that? Like, you got to know all those things because you kind of work close together, even though you probably never see each other. You know, so the more you learn about that process, the better it's going to be. Like, just like you learning the cameras and the sound and everything you're doing now, when you get to a point where you can hire somebody to do it, you're going to know what they need to do before they know what to do with it. And from that point, ain't nobody going to be able to fuck you over.
Okay.
That's the main thing, right? Like, it's you are keeping the integrity of what it is that you want to do by nobody being able to say, oh yeah, I can do that for you. You already know what questions to ask as soon as you hear that. It's like, oh yeah, well, what programs you use? I'm using a Adobe Illustrator. Bro, that's not an editing software. That's not you see what I'm saying? Like, immediately you can weed that person out and move on to the next one because you know all of it, right? And it's the same thing for me. Like, when I'm thinking about producing, because I've been in music and I've been in studios, I can talk to the composer a certain way. You know, I can talk to the director a certain way about the treatment and with shot selection because I've done it. I can talk to a screenwriter about your third act structure and why this ain't working because I've done it. You know, and that's what you really want. You want the knowledge of experience. So I would just say take all of it if you can get it.
Well, look, I'm gonna try to find somebody. Shit, like, look, man, I just need to stand like 3 feet to your right and just watch you do your thing.
It's probably plenty of independent films shooting in that area right now. You know, Holly Garima's son just put out a film called Residue.
I seen that. I saw that.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that
film on Netflix, and you know they did all of that was independent.
It's another one that they did here. What's that? It was a romance joint where they did it here. They did it right too. They had fucking T.O.B. playing in the joint. I was like, what? They had it.
Was that the joint with Kofi? Cerebro?
Remember the name of it? It was
he was a painter.
Yeah, he was a painter.
Yeah,
and they had the Issa Rae in the junk. That junk, right?
It wasn't.
No, that was you talking about the Photograph.
No, that's
okay.
This joint was filmed. It was filmed here. Like, they was on fucking U Street. Like,
man,
it wasn't no monument White House shit. It was like legit DC junk.
You know, I like my little YouTube web series junk. You know, in the trenches junk. So.
It was I ain't saying it, but like this joint was done good. Like, it was done like really good. So people was like, damn, like
really love. That's what
really love. That's really what it was. Yeah.
As long as it ain't Mac Wiles portraying like he's fucking.
He was like, really, Mo? I'm like, stop.
But hey, look, but they was saying like he a real city nigga because he had 3 bad bitches and no car.
Bruh, that shit sounded. It was like hurting my ears.
Yeah, it was. It was fucking me up. I was just like, oh. It was like, he really sounds like he's really sitting on the fuck
bro. Stop perpetrating.
Yeah, man.
All right, man. Well, look, man. Again, man, we want to thank you for coming on.
Most definitely.
I appreciate y'all having me.
He definitely gave us some good information. Gave me some good information, man. Some shit I gotta look into, man. I'm trying to take over the world, and it ain't gonna happen with the job I'm at now. So,
man, look, man, we gotta get you detox first.
I'm detox, man.
Hey, that nigga on your neck, bro.
We need to get you detox, bro.
I'm detox, bro. Look, you get with me on the sidebar, man. We can work that out,
bro.
Yeah. Hey, but you know what time it is.
Oh, God,
you know what time it is. That joke time. All right, look. You ready? What do you call it when the same street gang hates trees? Bigger trees.
Bro. Bro.
Fuck.
Hey, bro, I just want to let you know, dog. You have completely turned into your father. I just want you to know that, bro.
Her man, they had all types of wild, crazy ass jokes. But yeah.
Just one tonight?
Yeah, just one tonight.
Just one tonight. Thank God.
Just one tonight.
All right, y'all.
I'll have 3 next time.
All right, y'all. We're going to wrap it up, man. Mr. Duran Jones.
Appreciate you,
Black
man.
filmmaker, man, getting it done. We appreciate you coming through.
Most definitely, bro.
Captain out.
Yeah, love.